nothing different from previous years, or whether it might take some time to adjust. But going into Gem Grab for our first map and mode of the day is going to be Hard Rock Mine. As I always say, Teddy, one of the most balanced of all the Gem Grab maps, so a great place to start, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it's an iconic one, right? I mean, I feel like every single competitive map pool has had it, with maybe a few exceptions. It's one of the classics. Ark, one of the things I think is quite interesting actually about this particular match is it's two teams with barely any roster changes, right? If you look at the core team, not looking at staff, they haven't changed one bit, and a lot of people have been pointing out the fact that they've been successful early on this year so far, despite not having any changes to their rosters. Looking at the draft, however, we do have Penny, 8-Bit, and Janet banned out. But Reply Totem, NAVI going to be banning out Gray, Gene, and Ruffs in a first pick of Crow, which I think is quite an interesting one here for Hard Rock Mine.
Yeah, I agree. I actually think it's quite smart, though. Stu for the side lane aggression, though. Very much what we tend to see from NAVI. It's definitely not the pick that I was expecting from Reply Totem, if I'm honest. But I do like the bans, for sure. I think 8-Bit in the mid, very underrated in this particular map. One that we see a lot as well. So it's kind of still surprising to me that many don't kind of see why that Brawl is so good as a gem carrier. For NAVI, though, they like aggression. And this is where they thrive generally when it comes to the BSC. When they're not on stage, they're able to be a bit more relaxed in their element. And Otis coming in as well to join the forces with that Stu pick. I quite like. I don't know whether Otis, though, is going to be the commanding role in the mid, or whether they're going to maybe even try experimenting with a Stu in the mid. I'm not really kind of sure at the moment whether the gem carrier lies on the side of NAVI with this particular comp, but Fat Splatter surely going to get some good value, but the Crow as well going to gain a lot of value on the side of Reply Totem. They might even bring in Buzz. I love it when they do. Honestly, they're a team that really can handle that kind of particular brawler so well under these circumstances, but definitely Reply Totem are lacking aggression. They need to bring something of that nature to the table.
Absolutely. So Spike not really in that train of thought, however, but honestly, it's not that bad, right? It's going to be able to slow down this too if he decides to over-aggress, can even potentially tank a mute with the cactus as well. So there are some possibilities there. A bit of a more plain pick, however. Gus, also not necessarily the most spice to it, but it does work. It's, quite standard. It's been in the meta pretty much ever since its release. I'm assuming that is going to be either played mid or on lane, and they could swap with the Crow depending on how they feel. And looking at this Rico, actually, I'm guessing they're going Otis mid or Stu mid. This is an odd one from NAVI, let's be honest.
I mean, it's a new season of the BSC when it takes me this long to realize that Rico has not been picked, because it's my go-to brawler on this map. It really is. I mean, it can just do such wondrous work. I imagine that NAVI were just a little bit concerned with wall-breaking potential, because it can completely eradicate the effectiveness of the Rico on the left-hand side. I prefer it on the right-hand side myself, but it's a bit more to the preference of the player. I think you can just get a better angle on some of the positionings on the right-hand side there, but it depends on how it's played, if I'm being completely honest. And surely Gus for the mid, right? For Reply Totem, they're going to be considering the Crow for a little bit, but yeah, now the mid role going to be taken by Maori, because then you want the Crow to be able to assassinate, and it can do a great job of assassinating on the Rico side. So that's what I'm looking to see really in this matchup between Joker and Angel Boy.
So far, Maori and Joker both low HP, and surely they'll get cleaned up when Maori pops the super just in time. He does go down. Is that going to be enough to slow onto Angel Boy? A jump in from Joker, still standing, but the poison will take him out, and eventually that will be the gems all on Reply Totem's side. Somehow they managed to keep them, and they'll hold on to them in that bush whilst they wait to get a couple more to initiate that countdown directly.
Very scatty game so far, very frantic on both sides of the coin, but it is going to be Reply Totem that are just narrowly edging towards getting their countdown. Joker goes down, however. A gem for the pickup. Maori, though, should be able to move forwards now with the help of Maori, and that will be swift and straightforward countdown. NAVI had some moments, some franticness, it's got to be said, but I feel like with the amount of utility available to Reply Totem, it would be a surprise to me if Maori goes down here, but if Angel Boy connects, can't get the angle here realistically, and that's a credit to Maori, and as well the support from Maori coming in. First,
in the early stages of those games, that they build up some momentum and end up taking it. it didn't quite work out for them this time around, but it wasn't all bad either. Just got to be a little bit more careful with where those gems end up, as Cube takes a lot of early damage. Maori and Joker creating so much space down in the mid. MMA on that left-hand side is taking quite low HP as well. They can't quite line up the angle, but eventually Joker does, and that's going to be the pickup for Reply Totem. Just creating so much space for Totem to just pick up gem after gem and completely lock Navi out of the mid for now.
Angel Boy is trying to seek out and destroy Mario there, but now surely he'll find it. Oh, the pinch is great though between MMA, but the range needs to be closed in just a little bit. They are starting to collect the rats in the trap, and it's just Mario versus MMA now. Why is he not using Gadget here? That's about to be great to be able to seek out this situation and to keep the pressure on, but it was just used a bit too late there. Mario was the target. The time was there to allow then Joker to come into the mix, and it wasn't really the play there for me, and a very swift takedown of Angel Boy on the right-hand side as Reply Totem now really are just starting to secure things much, much better. There is time here for Navi to make a comeback. They've got 4 gems in the pocket, much better than before, but as the game continues to go on, I just feel like Reply Totem look very comfortable in this scenario, Teddy.
They certainly do. Cublo as well, and gets pinched by Maru. Angel Boy maybe a little bit too wide on that flank. That's gem number 10 for Maru. A shield popped as well, just for safe measure. And now Navi, they have 10 seconds to interrupt this countdown, or the first set will be going the way of Reply Totem. No chance here for Navi. They gave it their best shot, and it just didn't quite
well. Definitely one that I'm sure Roll had a bit of work to do as well when it came to that draft, but especially when you combine the Gus, it's almost like just a mega shield. I mean, we've kind of gone past the days where we've seen that much on the Gadget side. Nobody's always slowing Toxin for Crow, whereas Defense Booster, it's really viable. In my opinion, it's still viable, but it's almost like Gus has now eradicated that Gadget. It needs a bit more love now to look back upon, but there we see the vote as well, 74% there. And correct me if I'm wrong, Teddy, there, I saw a glimpse of it. I'm pretty sure that was in favor of Navi, if I'm not mistaken, right? And that just goes to show the strength of their fan base. I mean, I think it's not necessarily as one-sided for me. I think Reply Totem probably the favorites here, in fact, but I would say probably more around a 60-40 or a 65-35 for me, if I'm honest.
I could not agree more with you. Totem definitely coming in here as favorites, but as our draft is kicking in, they'll be locking in Otis and Poco right after Navi's first pick, which was Ems. Nothing too crazy when we look at the bans. I think the Spike one is probably the more interesting one for me. A Surge as a follow-up is going to be quite interesting, playing off that speed gear in the bushes, making sure you make up for that lack of speed early game and try to get to stage 2 as quickly as possible, because with the right star power pick, well, you get to keep it for the entirety of the game.
I really like this and where it's leading potentially here for Navi, but Ash as well. I mean, it's looking scary. I think Sam would be a great shout here for Reply Totem, to be honest, especially with the Poco. I mean, that's going to go in such a fantastic way. I mean, you're looking at combining hearty recovery, star power, and a Sam with the Poco and magnetic field as well, just to bring in the Ash when it tries to escape away with the speed that it's inevitably going to have off the back of the Rage. I really like what's sparing for Reply Totem if they go with that idea. Nonetheless, though, Navi are aggressive. They're going to go with Colette. It's surely going to be Joker on that particular brawler. The man works absolute magic when it comes to playing Colette here. But I don't know. It just wasn't kind of where I thought they were going to be leading with it. Navi have got very much an aggressive comp here, but they've really struggled to make that aggressiveness count when it comes down to actually, outmatching Reply Totem, outplaying them. And that's where, for me, Navi have got to rein things back in just a little bit. Brawl is not a map and mode that you want to be making that kind of mistake with to give your opposition, free reign of the field. So coming to this one, I want to see a bit more of a slower, steadier start to get those surge stacks, especially Cube's going to land these early shots.
What a start from Reply Totem. Mari should be able to just slot this one in. And that is quite the early goal. They're 15 seconds in for goal number 1. And Navi already struggling here in Brawl. And to me, the key pick here was the Poco on Mari. That second pick on the side of Reply Totem just kind of set the pacing for the draft, because Navi, they wanted to go for the Poco most likely, and some tankier ideas as we just kind of know them for, but Poco is versatile enough to just go for something else, and another tank counter to deal with that Ash seemed like quite a brilliant idea. Some good fights here for Navi. They're building up some big control down in the mid. Let's see if they can build a push off it.
Well, nice work there from Angel Boy on the left. Got Reply Totem a bit back on the ropes here. Great super there from MMA. Push through here. Surely the pass is there, but everyone low. Joker doing great work, but Angel Boy with the pickup will seal the deal just in the nick of time. But it was a kind of a shaky start for me from Navi. That was much better, but I just feel like they're just in a position where they can just change at any moment, really. I mean, they had like their entire team wipe on the side of Reply Totem to start things off. Now starting to slow down the pace. Exactly what they need to do now. Can they keep this up?
Third stage on the surge is massive for Cube. Just enables him to play more defensively and more at range. But Joker finds a big pickup on the right-hand side. MMA is very low HP as well. Maru gonna pass it forward. Cube gets taken away, actually pushed into Maori. But
Honestly, for Navi. But the implementation of it, it's just not working for them. They've got to just reconsider their strategy here. Cube really out of position there. Great pinch between Maori and Joker. And just now they just push through, power through, gotcha gadget. Joker can't quite get the angle for the super shot. The pass through to Maori. It's just pitch perfect, Teddy. Another goal there in 23 seconds to 15 seconds prior to that in the last game. It's just Navi not learning from their mistakes.
This is a huge trade for Cube. If he didn't pick that one up, that would probably be the second and final goal here for Reply Totem in this set. Let's see if Navi can build up some sort of a push, and Angel Boy does not stand a chance against Joker on that Colette. MMA trying to make sure they can't go for a quick push themselves and build up too much map control and to maybe make a play, but another chance. Maru shuts him down, and the crossfires are on point. Another great super from Joker, and this is going to be it. This is the end. Maori just trying to walk it in. Not quite. The defense still stands for Navi, but for how long?
Well, Joker goes down. The speed there from Cube and the speed gear will go a long way into pushing this one forwards. This has got to be a goal. There's no way it's not, surely, right? They can pass it through, and there it is. Angel Boy will score it. We're all tied up. Let's see now with a minute on the clock. Who is going to be able to take this game? Is it going to be Reply Totem going up 2 sets, or can Navi start to scrape this one back?
I may have gotten overexcited, as Totem probably did too. It was an opportunity to score earlier and end the set here, be 2 sets out. Let's see if they can make up for it now, as Cube is low HP. MMA fell. Rats out. Angel Boy and Cube shut down Joker at 2-1-2, but MMA is respawning and closer to the action now to try to turn things around. However, overtime is going to be quite a question mark here for Navi with that Ashe.
Angel Boy starting to push his way forwards. Great takedown of Joker. Robotic Rats going out now as well. And a whole load of hurt coming in for Mario. The pass through. Cubic can't miss this, and he doesn't. Great angle. Didn't have.
Absolutely so. I mean, that was looking better and better. I think there was quite a couple of mistakes from Joker on his matchup against the Ashe, maybe playing it a little bit too close range, maybe some overconfidence here and there, and opening up that lane for Navi to build up some more opportunities. A great super there from Joker, but he has low HP. 3-on-2 now. Angel Boy and Cube both low HP as well. But can they slot this one in? And they certainly will, as Cube is mid-air when the ball goes through. Reply Totem again with the early goal, but we've seen Navi bring it back time and time again already in this set. However, this time around, it's an early kill again for Reply Totem.
Big push through, but can't really make it count. Great super from MMA, but now muted out. And Cube catches it in, but can't get any value for it. Using to go on the right-hand side. Will stack up along the way, but Reply Totem realistically have got Navi exactly where they want them, and it's down to Navi to be able to escape from this position. They can't go into aggressive, and that's been their problem the whole way through. And look at this, the Joker coming in. Heal from Mary did not quite connect, but it's just a 3 versus 1, and Cube going to be able to try to come in. Not going to happen. 2 sets up. Go Reply.
Set, and I mean, the stats absolutely reflect that.
Well, going in then to Canal Grande for Bounty. Could be the last set we see in this series. 26% of you on over at event.brawlstars.com did think that Reply Totem had that enough to go all the way. There's 74% of Navi. And well, the exact opposite story is occurring. Navi have got a huge fan following, it cannot be denied, but looking at the facts on the field, it's not saying to me that Navi have got what it takes at the moment, unless they make a big change here. Coming in first with that Gene pick with the bands there of Carl, Penny, and Squeak. On the side of Reply Totem going in with the Grey, the Poco, and the Eve ban. I quite like those bans, if I'm honest. I think Eve here can get some tremendous value. But there's not be as much fight over that blue star, to be honest, now with the Carl ban and, of course, the Eve ban as well. So Otis is going to come in for Reply Totem and the Janet. Oh, this is a Reply Totem comp here coming in thick and fast. I love it.
Absolutely so, and two brawlers that are in a really good place in the meta and also that don't really have proper hard counters, right? Like, yes, they have some brawlers they will struggle against a little bit more than others, but they don't really get hard countered by a single brawler, and I think that is very much in line with Reply Totem's mindset in general. Ashe is going to be a way to try to disrupt that because you need some extreme measures to deal with those sort of situations. Surge going to be joining in the ranks here as well for Navi as their final pick. Very similar plays and draft here than what we saw just earlier in Brawl Ball, but it didn't quite succeed in Brawl Ball, did it?
This is the question, you know, can Reply Totem keep this aggressive comp back in the spawn? Because if they can, I mean, they got a chance to counter it. We could bring in Lou here. They could bring in, well, Spike's not the worst of counters. Not my ideal go-to, but it has the range, which is what you want to have realistically here if you can get that mid-control. So I don't mind it. I think this is going to be a very good comp here for Reply Totem if they can keep that mid-control. Ultimately, Navi have got a fantastic opportunity to do the same thing themselves with an early surge gadget coming in to get those additional stacks and a quick positioning power for the Ashe. They might be able to do just that, but I think the drop the base here for Mary, or I imagine possibly Joker and Janet, to be honest, is going to show up where everyone lies in those bushes. And, you know, a fat splatter as well for Otis, going to get some great value as well on that, you know, information side. Yeah, Joker going to be going in with the fat splatter already. And I love the way that Reply Totem are approaching this one.
Yeah, I think they got a lot of utility to work with as well with that comp. And sure, there is that gene pool that's always going to be a threat, but in the early stages, it's just going to take quite a bit of time to build up and charge up on the side of Navi. It does end up getting it now, but it was at the expense of an early death of Angel Boy on that left lane, and therefore a one-star lead now in favor of Reply Totem. Maru flying over them. MMA is one shot. Maru not overcommitting, and he does get pulled. It should be a one-for-one trade, but a beautiful mute from Joker coming in to make sure that that trade does not come true, and Reply Totem 5 stars up now.
Wow, it's a flying start. I mean, this especially for a map like Canal Grande, the mid-control is where these games are won and lost, and getting that early control so essential, so crucial here. Mary couldn't quite get off there, the super hub, but Mary will take the skies and live to fight another day. He's got 4 stars above his head. He's got to create a bit more distance than this, actually. Joker's completely out of position there, but not really his own fault there. Just couldn't really do much around the pinch that was coming in inevitably. So Navi's starting to bring this one back just a little bit here. Just the 1 star and an aggressive comp to be able to really snowplow their way through these final seconds if they want to with it. But Reply Totem will be just trying to hold their ground, and Navi can actually rotate around the right-hand side if they're not trying to pinch it yet. That's what Cubes can do right now. I love that play from him.
That gene pool from MMA might be critical here. They do have some utility to try to tank it, but that's a cactus out of the way. Already the pool now, and yeah, another cactus plays down by Maru. Gonna be baiting that one, 60 HP, however, and that's 1 kill. The second Maru, 1 HP. Angel Boy should be falling. No.
I mean, if he'd had maybe just been a few pixels away from that corner, it would be a different story, but that's exactly what Navi needs to do right now. Mary under very quick scrutiny. As Cubic there gadgeting in very early on. And drop the base. Will be protected for all it's worth by Reply Totem here in the early outset moments. And they will gain the blue star for it. So a lot of utility was used to gain it. And now, the response will be that's the second drop the base here for Reply Totem. I think that Navi are making this work quite well for me. If MMA can get like a good pull here and just kind of heal himself up and start to gain a little bit more of an advantage here. Great pinch is going to be said, but actually getting a bit overzealous there as Cube goes down.
MMA does have the gene pull. 3 players low HP. Angel Boy was a nice pickup and gathered to heal himself back up. Still 1 star in favor of Reply Totem, and Navi, they do have everything they need to try to bring this one back. They certainly did earlier, And now they even have more time on the clock to do so. 55 seconds left, and Reply Totem are playing very scared on their side of the map, not really willing to give anything away, but by doing that, they're giving away a ton of map control.
Angel Boy just out of harm's reach there. EMEA all punished massively so, and almost went down there as a result of that curveball. Gonna have to heal up big time here, and the healing puffs will go a long, long way. That 1 star is all that's there realistically here. All the mark did land. What a great play there, honestly, from Joker to connect it as well as he did. But the pull will bring back a plant. Not the ideal one to have for MMA, as Maru tries to assert himself a bit here with 15 seconds this time. But I don't know whether Navi can really push this at the moment. They're too low HP.
Yeah, they do have the flank from Cube coming in from the right-hand side. Another Cactus plays down, and that's a big pickup from Maori. That's going to relieve so much pressure and leave some other opportunity.
I agree. Big time, honestly. But what a position for... Oh, look at that. That's a value. It's on the base as well. Cube needs to move. He needs to move, man. You're going to go down. Oh, my word. The healing puffs couldn't have come in at a better time. Somehow, some way, Navi come out of that with 5 stars. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I did not think that they were going to be able to push through in that situation.
Wow, what a crazy way to fight off the match point here. That's in favor of Reply Totem, as Navi are trying to make sure they lock in a set and continue their adventure in this monthly final. Maru, low HP, takes it up in the air, but not really do all that much when he's that low HP, and as soon as he lands, he is greeted by Angel Boy. EMEA finds a second, and that is quite a substantial lead here for Navi. 13 stars now in their favor. Reply Totem don't really seem to have any sort of solution for now.
Yeah, this is a big deficit, isn't it, for Reply Totem to do something about. Great mute there from Joker, but things will be a bit cautious. Low HP, and Angel Boy can just close that gap so quickly. Robotic Rats as well to the left-hand side. Oh, Mari. Oh, Mari goes down. Oh, no. Everyone going down for Reply Totem, and it's just not looking good. Oh, and that ball as well. Remember, they got to surely be running the Mythic Gear there. Talks the hand, extending that range in just a perfect way. A ditched attempt there for Mara to go to the skies, but I honestly think this was all over, Teddy. Surely not a chance for Reply Totem to bring this one back.
Yeah, this is not going to be happening. There's just no time to make it work at this point. The lead is way too massively in favor of Navi for this one. What a turnaround here from Navi, as they were on the verge of defeat. The power of the Ash in this one.
Moving forwards then, and actually, this map and mode, it kind of caters Navi's playstyle. I mean, it really does. This is not what Reply Totem really want to have here as the 4th set, but have it we do. It's going to cater massively to a lot of tanky ideas. You know, look out for Primos and Balls, and in fact, Primos banned already on the right-hand side for Navi, but Balls still available here, and it's a big pick to have. Bans being Otis and Dynamite for Navi. Dynamite don't sort of look upon that broader and think, why are they banning it? It actually works out pretty well here. Barley banned, Ruffs, and M's on the side of Reply Totem, but for me, BB can actually have a good amount of value here. Nita coming in for Navi, I really love that. You can't leave that on the safe. If you got a Bruce Bear to hand, you know, expect Hyper Bear on that safe and just for it to be shredded. I mean, Jesse as well. Combined with that, don't shun that idea away either. It can actually do some serious damage, and the game can be over in the blink of an eye. But coming in now for Reply Totem is the chance to ban. I love Buzz here. I really love Buzz here. Been running it a lot in Power League myself, and it can shut down so many ideas. Let's see what Reply Totem are thinking early on, but I mean, the chance to break the map wouldn't go. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. You gotta have ball here. I'm surprised that Navi didn't ban it, in all honesty.
Yeah, I do like the pick, to be honest, and directly trying to pick off Navi's brawler pool, right? Making sure that they are going to be damaging their plans and throwing in just some sort of confusion, perhaps, in what Reply Totem are willing to bring and what Navi would have read and prepared for this specific set. Spike, again, a little bit more plain of a pick. He's been coming back into the meta, interestingly enough, probably just because there aren't as many viable tank counters, especially when brawlers like Ems are banned out here on this map. I don't know. We'll see the surge again, I guess, here from Na'Vi. They brought it in nearly every single set so far with varying results, but they're off, you know, a bit of momentum playing that brawler. So let's see if they can make it pop off again.
I just don't know whether it's the right place for it. I mean, there's still a chance to break the map open, and I think with the Darren as well, that's kind of what the thought process has got to be here from Reply Totem coming into this one. Just to have something to... I think it might be too late, actually. I think it could be well too late. They might have to play their own game around this. I don't know where they go from here, to be honest. I mean, you might want to go with some tank counter ideas. Penny wouldn't be that for me. I mean, I don't know whether Penny is it for me at all, if I'm honest. I mean, it's a bit of a tough one. Navi just coming so super aggressive. Really kind of picked the brawlers, which I'm sure Reply Totem would have liked to have had. I'm not sure. I'm not sure here whether Reply Totem have the draft, in my opinion. Obviously, the Spike has got to do so much work on defense. They're banking on getting the Penny turret, which we now know is called Larry, apparently, to the top left or right-hand side to really have it honing on the safe. But I'm not too sure. I mean, Ball can do a lot of work here. There's no doubt about that. But I think that Navi might be able to take this all the way. This is the comp that surely has legs, if nothing else.
Well, there's only one way to find out. Cube already aggressive on the left side, creating some space as well for Angel Boy to just roam freely towards that safe, and beautifully rolls through that that barrel actually, and just doesn't really care for it at all. Able to get onto that safe and some nice early damage. Maru gonna try to match that, but just not really able to do it to the same extent, at least not this early on. Mortar will find some value here and there. Cube going in for a flank onto Joker, but Joker reads it and is able to reposition very nicely there, getting a super down onto MMA, which should be locking in that kill. And a chance here maybe to get some damage on save, as Maru will get a couple hits in. Equalizes for now, but a spike super from Joker will be giving the lead to Reply Totem, at least temporarily.
Well, it's quite a close match, in all honesty. MMA, though, no one's feeding him, and that's exactly what you need to do against the Nita. Maru's going to be going in now. They've got to be very careful in their positioning here. Yeah, he's playing it slow and cautious. Now I have to think better of it, or try to rotate his way around here. Good roll from Angel Boy, brilliantly done. I mean, look at the way that Navi turned that situation around, but no one is feeding MMA. They are so careful to not give him Bruce, and I love the fact that they are treating it so cautiously.
You certainly have to. Maru gonna try to break out, find his way towards a save. MMA still no bears available for him, but now the lead is quite substantially in favor of Navi. They're getting more value now as well. A chance maybe to catch up, as I think Maru is still on that save, but a couple more hits, two in fact, for the Nita would do. Not quite gonna get it done just yet. They do have a Daryl roll with their own save. Is also so low HP. Mari gonna get a connection. The mortar plays down as well. A couple more hits would be enough, and the fire of the mortar will be
to that. And I do feel like it was very close. Probably a bit closer than it probably should have been, actually. But they can turn this around. Reply Totem don't keep their focus and keep their eye on the prize, then this could go from a good day to a bad day very quickly, especially with Anita on the other side of the field. But that is not the start that Reply Totem wanted. Cube, oh, great shots though there. You have to heal up now massively. So Angel Boy's playing out of his mind right now, but they're a bit too much, and the Penny turret will do wondrous things when it's in that defensive position.
Yeah, I do like the Penny mortar against the stage 1 surge, because he's just so slow that if he does the slightest movement mistake, he's going to be tanking that damage, and that's a lot of value for Mari, helping him cycle through those mortars. The second one plays down already, and this one has access to the safe, so the value is going to be much more substantial now for Reply Totem. 25% in their favor, and it keeps extending, and the safe is burning down. And I may one shot 18 HP, still standing for the time being.
Wow, Joker's got a heal. Bruce coming out, and that's a bit of a waste for me. Served a bit of a purpose, but you really need to land those things onto the safe, and Joker just, yeah, absolutely sparing no experts into MMA. 3 consecutive shots, and it just eradicates that Nita's potential there. Great pinch between Joker and Mari as well. It just seems like Reply Totem playing these moments so beautifully well. From a defensive position, taking not a shred of damage, to now where they are on the map. It's great to see. It really is just pitch perfect from Reply Totem right now.
Yeah, solid defense on their end, and Navi, surprisingly enough, this is the first damage they're going to be getting on safe of the entire game, and when you have a match point in hand, that's got to be quite a scary taunt here for Navi. They still got quite a lot of catching up to do, halfway to catching up, as a matter of fact. 25% left here if they want to try to equalize, but that's considering the fact that Reply Totem wouldn't be getting any more damage on save themselves. Salty Barrel plays down, Mortar plays down as well. This is a chance to get some damage, but I don't think Totem care. They know that Anita without a bear and the Surge, that's just not enough DPS on safe, and they'll be closing it out themselves as they get